now buried in deep snow and bracing for more.
There has been a massive power outage throughout much of the Northeast, both of the United States and of Canada. Millions and millions of people were caught by surprise when the electrical grid suddenly crashed.
Hi, I wanted to do this video to explain to you all. Well, I've got a list over here, and this is an important list, very important. I've got this list, and I'm going to show you. So please stay with me to the end of the video, okay? I'm just getting started. So, will you make it? Will you freeze? Or will you not make it? You and your family not make it? If there is a winter storm and the grid is down, there's no power whatsoever, what would you do? Well, let's find out. So my checklist is very important here. I know there's other people out there that got their backpacks, their Ajibago bags and all that kind of stuff, or their emergency boxes or whatever it is, emergency bags. They're in the garage somewhere. When the grid goes down, the power goes out, they gotta go to their garage and go pull it out and find it. I mean, that's like, really? I mean, you haven't even, seen it in what, 9-10 months. It's like, wow, you gotta go outside your house to your garage to go sort for it in the pitch dark and go find it. Or it's downstairs in the cellar somewhere. You haven't seen it in, months. And you're going to go look for it now down in the cellar, downstairs, way downstairs somewhere, where everything's stored away behind boxes and more. Really. Okay. For all those preppers that prep like that, well, and all those, 400,000 people that are listening to those people, those preppers, I tell you what, you're not going to make it. You will not make it. Not at all. I want to get down with my list over here. First of all, I want to tell you, okay, I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional whatsoever. This is just from experience and from what I have done in my own home. And this is not for actually, leaving your home or going somewhere else and setting up over there. No, this is what you can do in your own home. Okay? This is what you can do in your own home. And prepare for this. Okay, so the fire department, police, they train for scenarios. They train for moments of emergencies, like in case there was a car accident. They'll train for that, right? If there's 2 people injured, 1 person's injured, if there's somebody that fell down off of a cliff, they train for these scenarios, right? They train every week, every weekend. They train for these things, right? Police officers, they train with their weapons, with their guns, so on, so on, so on. They train through many procedures. Many things can go, when you're actually walking up to a car, right? When there's 2-3 people in or something. So they train all the time. Also, the fire department, they train for all kinds of emergencies, and they have to know this because they can't just go. You can't expect your fire department to come over to a fire and say, well, we never actually encountered this fire before. If there's a fire up on top of the roof, what do you do for it? If there's a fire down in the basement, how do you react? If there's a fire on the main floor or in the back, or there's people inside, or there's a car on fire, there's a trailer park's on fire, or there's multiple, how do you train for all these things? And especially when you're bringing out people. So you must train. You must train for this. You must be ready. So I'm telling you, for an emergency blackout, you must train also too. You must go through the steps. You must bring it into practicality. And what I mean by that is you must actually go through the scenario. Just like a fire alarm drill at the schools, they go through a fire. You must go through your own drill yourself at home. Turn the power off. Well, you don't have to go to the the box in the back outside. You don't got to turn the power on. No, just shut off all the lights. Shut off all the lights, right? And practice what you're going to be doing, right? If you got your emergency power box, emergency blackout boxes, or you got your battery banks, or whatever it may be, practice these things, right? Practice them with the kids, and don't forget, like if you're not home also too, say you're at work, say you're at work. Very important, right? You went over the emergency drills, right? Practicing with your family and with your parents. If they're elderly, right? Everybody knows what to do. So say you're at work. You, the parents, are at work. Mother, father, whatever it may be, you're at work, and the kids are at home with a babysitter or whatever it may be. They know what to do now. Okay? They know exactly what to do because you told them, right? Everybody is prepared with their emergency blackout box, whatever you may call it, emergency box, this, that, and this. I don't care what you call it. It could be theirs, it could be mine, it could be one you buy at the store, inverters. But anyways, so I stress a lot. The police force, the fire department, they train for these scenarios, so you. Okay, so number one, emergency bag. Does everybody have an emergency bag? I guess a bag, emergency bag. I guess what you can call it is also a bug out bag. Does everybody? So this is my emergency bag. I guess you can call it like a bug out bag, emergency bag, emergency. It's a pack sack, you carry on your back. Right, carry on your back. It's got the container here that you can boil if you need to light a fire, need to purify some water. I've got all the equipment in here, first aid stuff. I got a poncho, rain jacket, little tent inside there, knives and forks and spoons. Everything that you need for an emergency bag, and I, suggest all family members have one of these and go through them because you'll always be making some changes, right? Go through these. I'm not going to take everything out. This video is not about, showing you what I got. A lot of videos out there that, show you what you can put inside your bags, and one in the house, have one, okay? And you can put in all kinds of stuff in there, first aid things, whatever it is, lighters, flashlights, all kinds of stuff, gloves, socks, tubes, whatever it may be, okay? Little snacks, all that stuff. We know about emergency bags. We know about, and also first aid stuff too, right? Water, whatever it may be, okay? But remember, you're inside your house, so you're not traveling anywhere, right? I mean, you're not going on a great, you're not going in the bush. You're inside the house. This is just for in the home, right? You're not leaving anywhere, okay? Right? Food. Do you have food? Right? Do you have food to be self-sufficient? So stockpile your food, right? You have. Remember also too, if this is a blackout situation where the grid is down and you don't got food, right? You're not stocking up. You're not stockpiling up at all. Just in case, right? For a month or 2 months or 3 months or 4 months. What are you gonna do? Right. Number three, like self-defense. Right, self-defense stuff. Do you have a bow? Do you have an arrow? Do you have arrows? Do you have a slingshot? Do you have several slingshots? Several bows? Several arrows? Right? Just in case, right? You never know. If there's a blizzard out there and the grid goes down, right? For 3 weeks and you're freezing in your home, what are you gonna do? Right? But we're gonna get down to this. Okay, these are my top, actually 17, I believe it is, top 17, top 19, something like that, top 19, okay? Okay, so a diesel heater. Do you have a diesel heater? Here's the blower, blows that hot air in here, and believe me, these things are incredible. They're actually better than a space heater, way better than a space heater. Once you turn this on, it's like the Bahamas, okay? It's like you're in Mexico. It's like you could be walking around with a t-shirt on. And this is good for about a good sized living room. Keep you nice and warm, alright? And the exhaust, show you the exhaust system. It goes right out from the back here, right out from the back. It goes right out the window. They're very powerful. They're really great to have. So all families should have a diesel heater. Diesel heater. Will you survive? Well, let's see. Right? Go over the list. See if you will survive. See if you'll make it. See if you and your family will make it. You got a Mr. Buddy heater. Obviously, you got to have some propane. Right? Mr. Buddy heater. Do you have one? Right? They're really good also too to have. Right? but they build a lot of condensation in your home. So, you know, they're okay. I'd rather have the diesel heater. Because the diesel heater, it runs on diesel, and if you know how to make your own diesel, then you are good to go. And it runs on a 12-volt battery that you can hook it up with a solar panel on top of your roof, or wherever you may hook it up. As long as that battery is charged, that diesel heater is pumping out hot air like crazy. It would be like the Bahamas. Why? Because I have two. I know. Okay? Will you survive? Will you survive? Will you be able to make it? Will you be able to make it? Well, just go down the list. Let's see if you'll survive. You and your family will survive. Do you know how to start a fire? Besides having a lighter. Do you know how to light a fire with a flint? With a flint. Do you know how to start a fire? Right? There's lots of videos on YouTube that show you how to learn how to make a fire. Right? How to start a fire with, right? This is a rock where you can actually have, I forget what it's called now, but you got a striker, right? And it'll spark. But do you know how to start a fire? Just in case you don't have no lighter, right? You got matches, all that stuff. That'll be in your bug out bag and all that stuff to have that, right? You know, you got charcoal and stuff. You got char cloth and so on and so on. So this is the list. Just go down the list, okay? Go down the list. See if you know about this. Do you know? Does your family know how to start a fire besides with a traditional lighter that you can go buy at the store? What if the store is no longer around? What if they're closed? Can't buy lighters anymore. Lighters only, you know, it's only as good as the butane lasts, and that's it. It's over. It's finished. Right? It's done. You can't light a fire anymore. Do you got solar panels? Do you have one? Do you got two? Do you have many solar panels? Do you have 3 or 4? Or none at all? Right? Because those solar panels can charge your batteries. Right? If you got a battery bank or whatever it may be, or 3 or 4 batteries, or do you have solar panels? Right? It's a great way of charging some batteries. Right? Here's how you can charge your phone, and a notepad, and a laptop. Well, I got a solar panel over here also too for charging this whole setup over here. Anyways, as you see, you got some USB chargers you plug into a cigarette lighter. I have a dollar store. You can pick these up. And I got an 18-volt DeWalt battery, right, for a drill. So I made this contraption over here. Well, not a contraption, it's an idea. It's an invention. It's a working invention. It's got alligator clips on it. Alligator clips that go to the USB inside here in this little plastic container. And what I do is, this is how I charge my phone. Right, watch the phone. I'm going to try to do this one-handed. I can't. Ugh, it's so hard to do it always one hand. Anyways. Is it that way? Or is it this way? There you go. You heard it go beep. So now my phone is charging. Right? You got about 4 or 5 of these that should do. Oh, and by the way, right? These are good for 5 charges, right? To charge your phone 5 times. It's not like a small little tiny one. You know, those little tiny ones, they last maybe, well, they'll only charge your phone maybe about, 3/4, and that's it. Then you got to recharge them again. But look, you can recharge the battery by the solar panel, and this will be endless supply to charge your phone, right? Or small devices. Go down the list over here. Let's see if you'll survive, right? Will you survive? Will you and your family survive a off-grid situation for a very, very long time? Well, let's see. If you go down my list over here, you'll see if you'll survive. Okay? If you're checking off, no, I don't, no, I don't, no, I don't, no, I don't, well, you're not going to survive. Okay? A large battery bank, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 batteries, car batteries, put together in series, right? With a inverter, a 3,000 watt inverter or a 1,500 watt inverter, right? Set up where you got power, right? Power. Having a battery bank such as this, 6 batteries, 5 batteries. I just removed one of the other batteries because I'm doing a side project. But having a battery bank like this is very beneficial. You have lots of power. I've got a 1500 watt inverter hooked up to that. I also got a 3000 watt inverter. I don't really need that right now, but if I do, I could use that. Do you have this? Does your family have this? Is it hooked up to solar panels on top of the roof or outside? This is not really mobile. This is for your home, right? In case of a big blackout, a big freeze over, like it's frozen for months and months and months, right? What will you do, right? What are you going to do, right? You have lots of power right now, right? You could do lots of things with solar. And with your inverters and your battery. Are you going to make it? Are you prepared? Will you survive? Well, let's find out. It's an emergency. It's an emergency, right? You want the stuff. It's critical to you, right? It's critical, very, very critical. Okay, a large battery, and a small portable blackout box, or any kind of blackout box, right? Well, do you have one? Do you have a blackout box? I've got the emergency blackout box down here, right inside the living room, and up above there's the solar panel maintainer, which is charging the battery inside here with the inverter inside. It's a 300 watt. It's a 300 watt system, AC and also DC, and also solar panel, so it can be charged by. First is, okay, look, I got a lamp up there, and pretty close right here. I want to plug this in right in there. Okay, turn that on. Okay, turn that on. Turn the inverter on. And hey, look, I got light now. Woohoo! We have light. We've got lots of light. Look at the place is all lit up now, right? Woohoo! We are happening. We've got power. We got light. I got light. Your kids now are nice and safe. Do you got like a DC fan, 12 volt DC fan? In the videos, you'll see the DC fan, right? It runs from a battery, 12 volt battery, and the solar panel is connected to the battery, and it's charging all day and all night long while that sun is burning piping hot. As long as that sun is on, right, and it's charging the battery, well, the fan is connected to the battery, and it's going, it's working, it is cooling down your home. There's a fan up over here. It's a DC, it's a 12 volt fan that runs on a 12 volt battery. 12 volt battery. Now I got it hooked up with this wire up over here, but okay, the 12 volt fan. I got about 4 of these, and in the summertime when the solar panel is up on top of the roof, I run this all day and all night long because the solar panel is charging the battery. It's charging the battery, and I'll run this until 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, because the sun doesn't go down until at least 10 o'clock at night on scorching days, hot days, because the sun is still out and still charging the battery. But this is a 12 volt DC fan, and if you pick up 2 or 3 of these, one for every room in your place, you're good to go in the summertime. Or a motorhome or a shed or a cabin. Okay, yeah, generator. Do you have a generator? Does your family, do you own a generator? Okay, so I just started the gas generator pump / motor. I've got the output of the DC side connected to a multimeter, and I've got the radio already plugged in as a load. And you can hear the radio in the background. So let's take a look at the voltage of DC. You have a generator. Go down the list, right? Will you survive? Right? Will you make it? Are you going to be self-sufficient? Are you going to be able to, come ahead and go, look, I'm prepared for worst case scenarios. Worst case scenario. Because, you're ready. You're ready for it. You got it already, right? You got all these essentials, right? I may miss out on some, but I'm trying to cover the main basics, the basics that you must have, right? In order to actually survive, right? Whether you're freezing or whether it's actually burning piping hot sun out there. Generator, very important. A gasoline generator or a diesel generator, right? Even if you got a 1,000-watt generator, you're good to go, right? Will you survive? Well, let's see. Let's continue on. If you're actually going, no, I don't, 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 well, you're in pretty bad shape right now, okay? Very bad shape. Very bad shape. All right. Water. Do you have water? Have you stored any water around, right? Like 5-gallon containers or, 2-liter bottles from the store, dollar store, right? Your 7-Up, your Pop, your Coca-Cola, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Can't only survive with just a little bug-out bag. That's for sure. Will you survive? Water. Water. Very important. Water. Very, very important. Store it. Store it all over the place, right? Store your water, right? Store some water, just in case, right? You got, 20 gallons worth, 50 gallons worth, whatever it may be, right? Do you have any? In the wintertime, well, you can always boil snow, right? And then purify it, right? Snow turns into water with a fire, right? And you got water. But in the summertime, well, right? Do you know anything about purifying water? Or are you just relying on the tap right there, right? All day and all night long, just relying on that tap, right? Right? I rely just on the tap. That's my friend. Without that, you're completely lost, right? Is that another no right there? Another check mark no, or is it a check mark yes? Let's go down the list of how to build a shelter. Do you know how to build a shelter? Do you know how to build something in case you needed to go out? Build. Are you skilled? Do you know how to build? Right? Because when it comes down to when the grid is down and all that stuff, you got no time to be actually watching TV. You're going to be so busy, so occupied with doing things, you're going to have to keep busy. And you're going to have to know all these little skills. Okay? Do you know how to build? Do you know how to build a shelter? Right? A lean-to, whatever it is, something in case it rains or anything and everything. It's great to have these skills, right? It's great to have these skills. Know how to light a fire, right? With some flint, right? With some flint. Do you know how to do that? No, you probably don't, right? Because you don't learn it in school, and no one's talking to you about it, right? So let's go down to the so the shelter. Okay, listen. Okay, so the most important things to man, and what I mean by man, I mean man and woman, right? Humanity, right? A human being. The most important things. There's 4 most important things to a human being for survival. Right? For survival. Food, water, shelter, fire, which is heat. Right? Heat was a wood-burning stove. Okay? Number 1, the wood-burning stove. Number 1. We got the emergency wood-burning stove all set up, as you can see, right? The pipe is it's going out through the window. Well, I mean through the board over there. It's going out through the board, and it's about 2-3 feet away from the wall. As you can see, the pipe staff, the pipe staff is going right out the window. All right, right out the window there. Okay. Going right out the window, and this is what you call an emergency stove. Alright, in case you need it in the wintertime and you are freezing. Right? Just make sure that you follow all the proper procedures, and that way nothing catches on fire, right? Remember, you gotta be 2-3 feet away from the wall, and you gotta have a nice clearance from anything that's combustible. Okay? And make sure that you got a fire extinguisher right there. And you're monitoring the fire. Right? And you're going to keep warm. You and your family are going to keep warm. That's the number 1 thing that you must have. Must have. Must have.
There has been a massive power outage throughout much of the Northeast, both of the United States and of Canada. Millions and millions of people were caught by surprise when the electrical grid suddenly crashed.
And these wood-burning stoves, they can last, 4 or 5 years. You got 4 or 5 years to build another one. You go get some container. Got yourself a wood stove. It's not hard on how to make these things, right? You just got to go out. No one has taught, no one has shown you, no one has taught you this from when you're very, very young, right? Because you're too used to that coming into your home. You're too used to coming into your home and everything is already there, supplied for you, right? Like when you come home, right, you don't turn on the light switch, it's right there. Right? There's no need to go do anything. There's no need to learn about that light switch, how the light switch all works. It's like, well, I don't know, they all handle it for me, and and I leave it up to them. As long as you press that button in it and it turns on the light, who cares? You don't really care, right? But you gotta pay for that, right? And then you gotta pay for the water and the heat, and this is another topic altogether. But yeah, so earn your badges, right? Earn your badges. That you've like you've actually scored, an 8 out of 10 or even a 7 out of 10 on pretty much all of these. I give you the truth right here, right? This is the truth, right? That's it. This is my view.
A massive power outage throughout much of the Northeast, both of the United States and of Canada. Millions and millions of people were caught by surprise when the electrical grid suddenly crashed.